Hello, darlings. This is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and you're listening to the Deeply Dapper Dispatches with Kris, Ben, and Devon.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Hey there, pod people. It is July 21st, 2017, and this is the Deeply Dapper Dispatches Podcasket. Joining me this week, Devon.
What?
And Ben.
Now you're gonna break into the song again.
No. I'm a one and done kind of guy.
It's one of those where he wishes he'd written the lyrics down, but he didn't. It's a fail.
It has like 3 words.
So we have some news. We watched a movie, and Devon and I watched an episode. Hopefully, maybe some pics of the pods, so that you guys will start thinking about it now in advance. And a drink check.
Well, I could use a drink.
Oh, so could I.
Just checking.
Everything all right?
Yep, 2 corpses, everything's fine.
What are we drinking tonight?
Well, it's closest to Ben.
The Victory Storm King Imperial Stout. Emerging from the deepest shades of darkness, a rolling crescendo of flavors burst forth from this robust stout. The thundering, hoppy appeal of Storm King subsides into the mellow subtleties of roasted... Good lord, this is pretentious.
The thundering hoppy.
There's like 3 more fucking paragraphs.
It's got paragraphs in line.
It is a 9.1. Pour some beer, Ben.
3 men trapped on an island of desire. One will drink a stout.
Island of Desire Stout. One of them will have a penis and corn dog.
One will be forever changed.
I'll take the bottle so you don't have to dirty it. Okay, whatever.
Some dirty
I have a dishwasher.
Is her name Lindsay?
Yeah, sometimes. Only when I'm gone at con, though.
I think it's yours.
So, let's taste this. 9.1.
It's not bad. It's a stout.
It is stout. It's beery. It's a little hoppy.
I don't know if I'm discovering the dark intrigue of the Storm King.
Well,
But,
that's for later, baby.
Discover the dark intrigue of the Storm King as it reveals the rich, substantial flavors.
The rich, substantial flavors. You know, this isn't bad, but I'm not tasting much flavor beyond beer.
Beyond stout.
I really like it.
It'd be good in a nitro.
You know, it really would.
Yeah.
You're right. I agree with you there.
Yeah, this is one that would be better in a nitro. But it's not bad.
Take a little off that CO2 edge.
Yeah.
Well, for 9.1, this is pretty smooth.
Oh yeah, it's very quaffable. But yeah, you do get that sort of like bright alcohol flavor in there too.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely, especially like on the back of your, like the roof of your mouth at the end of the swallow.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It is victory for your taste.
It does say that on there, doesn't it? Victory for your taste. So we picked this one
just for your taste.
because it's dark, it's black. It also has an upside down triangle on it, and we watched The Void tonight. So it sort of relates.
I like how you went with
pushing it a little bit.
upside down triangle as opposed to a V.
Well, V is for void. Haha, thanks for that one. Why couldn't you have said that before I said what I said?
We don't like to take the easy route here. We work for our...
If there's an alley I can take, maybe a little convoluted. Is there a cemetery in town, a little off the beaten path? The spookier, the better. Let's hit some news with this Justin.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
So, leading off, we watched some trailers tonight, some of which are from San Diego Comic-Con. We're recording this kind of right in the middle of Comic-Con, so we have a little bit of news from Comic-Con, and then the rest of it will probably hit on the next episode. So, some new stuff, some other stuff that we just hadn't seen yet.
Yeah, I looked at NECA's Twitter and I didn't see anything really new.
Nothing today?
Yeah.
Okay.
They announced another Gremlin from Gremlins 2, but...
Is that the one with the fucking... with the copier?
No, it's...
Who did
Is it the
that one?
bombshell?
What? Who did that one?
Yeah.
Oh well, NECA did that one.
NECA did do that one.
Yeah, they've got the license, but
with Mogwai sticking out from underneath it on the copying machine.
I mean, I didn't actually see it, but I'm assuming if it was
good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. No. Cool.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Gremlins, man. Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Gremlins 2
Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
So we watched the trailer for Planetarium, which strangely has a 2016 date after it on the thing that we watched.
Oh, it was probably doing the festival circuit.
That's my assumption.
Like, just like Colossal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting looking.
I think it looks really good.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a sci-fi fantasy kick. I really like the way it bounced between the French and the English in the trailer, the way it did. Natalie Portman looks great in it. It's kind of a... she plays a medium of some sort.
You know, obviously a fake one, because it's the only kind. But.
Right. In the kind of burgeoning cinema era of France.
And she has an assistant played by Johnny Depp's daughter, who seems to also be her lover.
It looks that way, yeah, and looks really I think she looks really unique. I don't think I've seen her in anything else,
I
but
haven't, yeah.
She looks really interesting. This looks good. I'm kind of excited about it, actually, which I was hesitant about it, but I'll watch a trailer for anything with a Natalie Portman feature in it.
The guy in it looks like if Amada Sante and Javier Bardem from Bond had like a love child from the Bond film that he was in, had like a love child, that would be the guy.
Yeah.
I want to have a love child with Javier Bardem.
Not
So
from
much.
the Bond movie, though.
No, I like him with teeth.
We also watched a Kingsman 2 trailer, which I mostly just watched because I really like... what's his name? Matthew Vaughn's action sequences, even though they're a little over CG'd usually. I think they're like watching a fun video game sequence, which I think is cool.
I just want to see it because I'm kind of in love with Taron
Edgerton.
Edgerton, yeah.
Yeah, he's a handsome man.
Oh my god.
Good lord.
Which one's he?
He's the main character.
Oh,
Yeah.
the young kid?
The really pretty British man. We also watched the little featurette behind the scenes thing for Star Wars 8. I'm just super, super excited to see all that practical effect alien action going on. That looks great. Obviously, anything with Carrie Fisher makes me sad and happy at the same time.
Yeah.
And Luke looks really good too, actually. I think he looks great in this movie. I'm excited about it. I know you're kind of meh about it just because you were meh about the last one. But with this being a different director, different writer, it feels like it's got a very different feel. But
yeah, but it still has a big cast of people I don't give a shit
I feel like you were meh in retrospect. Like, when you actually saw it in the theater... You were happy about it in the theater.
You were having a good time.
So for that one event, at least, even if like in retrospect you don't like it, I think it's still worth that joy of that one moment.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't dislike that movie until you started thinking about the movie.
Because while we were there, I remember you turning and being like, "We just saw a Star Wars movie."
I forgot you came to that with us. We also watched a trailer for Leatherface 2017.
Oh, God.
Boo, just give it up, people.
I love horrible, cheesy, stupid horror movies, and I still will not watch this.
It looks fucking atrocious. It looks so... We don't need a fucking origin to Leatherface. Like, of any of the slashers...
We really don't need an origin for any
No,
of
we
them,
really don't.
honestly.
I mean, we already have an origin for fucking Freddy.
Freddy and Jason.
And Jason. And Michael Myers.
We know exactly what we need to. I mean, you see him as a child doing his first murder.
Right.
Yeah, like, we get it.
Yeah,
we
you
don't need
more
one for Leatherface because it's all really...
You already met his family.
You can infer that from
Yeah.
everything that fucking happens.
Because it's a fucking great couple of movies there.
And so to spell it out doesn't...
it
boring.
looks fucking terrible. And who gives a first of all, his family doesn't look creepy in this at all. They just look like bad actors.
Yeah.
And they give that kid a fucking chainsaw for his 9th birthday or
Which
whatever.
is way over the top, like way...
ridiculous. They're all dramatic and plump it down.
Maybe that's actually maybe that was actually part of the backstory. Is it's not actually maybe that's what triggers him actually. is he wanted like something really like a fire engine for his birthday, but his family forgot about it, so it was just like, hey, here's a chainsaw for you. Have at it.
God damn it, Janice! I wanted Lincoln Logs.
Yeah. But they gave him a chainsaw because it was just like, oh yeah, here, have this.
Have this old fucking rusty chainsaw. Ta-da! Yeah, it looks terrible.
Apparently, they don't pay the law enforcement in that county very well.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
It looked like they were in on it.
Well, they are, isn't it? But
yeah, they've been in on it, right? Weren't they in on it in the originals?
Isn't the dad?
No,
I couldn't remember.
I think in the remake.
Oh, was it the remake?
Was it the remake?
I think he's the fucking sheriff in the remake.
Okay.
I haven't seen them in a while, and they've all kind of blended together.
Oh, that was expected to be a twist in the. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because it was Lee Emery, huh?
Yeah, earlier.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's true.
That was the
that
remake. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are releasing a 4K transfer of the 1980 film.
I don't know. Jessica
Effects.
Biel's tank top should have gotten a Best Supporting Actress award for that movie.
I'm amazed it could support Jessica Biel in that movie. That was the only good thing about that movie was Jessica Biel. Actually, she's a good actress.
She's hot.
Yeah, so this is the only thing that I was like super excited about from all the stuff that we watched.
That's not true. We watched the Guillermo del Toro trailer too.
Okay, yeah, but I've seen that like 100 times, so.
Yeah, so they are releasing Effects, which is a 1980 film, on a 4K transfer on Blu-ray on August 22nd, the day before my birthday.
Sweet. It's got Tom Savini in it.
Looking young and awesome. Look at that fucking bandana he's got wrapped around his neck there.
I know.
That's his director attire.
He's still a handsome
He busted
fella.
that out.
It looks really good. I fucking can't. I've never seen this movie. I can't wait to see it. I think it looks great. And it's a 4K transfer from a 35mm, but they didn't do any like hardcore cleanup or anything, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, it looks wonderful.
Yeah, it retained
of an era.
like all the film grain and the scratches and everything else.
It's a lot of character.
But it's still got
it's
a nice
watchable.
depth to it. Yeah.
So the people not familiar with it, what is this about?
Years before, I'm reading this directly from Bloody Disgusting because I'm a lazy journalist. Years before working together on Day of the Dead, Pittsburgh pals Tom Savini and Joe Pilato starred in Effects, a film directed by Dusty Nelson. It is a group of coked-up filmmakers, including Savini and Pilato, who gathered in Pittsburgh to make a slasher called Duped, the snuff movie. As filming begins and accidents happen, it's clear that something isn't right and no one can be trusted. Landing somewhere between Michael and Roberta Findlay's Snuff and a student film by John Carpenter, Effects is a meta-enhanced takedown on the philosophy of horror that doubles as a sleazy and terrifying movie on its own. So it's kind of a meta film about these guys filming a snuff movie, and then some shit happens, and it turns into a horror.
Actually make a snuff film.
Yeah, that's my assumption. So you haven't seen it either, Devon?
No.
Oh, nice.
No, I'd never heard of it, and I'm kind of surprised by that.
I remember reading something about it in an article about Savini, like, fucking years ago, and I thought it looked really interesting, and I tried to look it up on eBay at the time, and there was one copy of a dubbed copy for $412. So
dubbed in what?
Well, like somebody had like dubbed it onto a VHS tape from their.
I thought they had dubbed it in a different language. I was like, what language would they have dubbed
it? No, it was legit like somebody making duplicates of their copy and selling it.
So they really went the snuff film like route. It's
yeah, absolutely. It looked like a snuff film in the presentation I saw.
Dark Tower TV series.
What's that?
What is this?
I have no fucking clue what that Dark Tower nonsense is. Apparently they're coming out with a TV series that's a prequel to the Dark Tower movie.
But is Idris Elba actually going to be in it?
No, it's an origin... I don't know.
I love Idris Elba.
I love Idris Elba too, and it does say that he'll be part of the series as well. I have no fucking clue, dude. Like, the movie itself takes place wrapped around the background of the story of the books that Stephen King wrote.
Whoa, so the movie isn't even like of the books.
It has
like
none of the connection.
Really?
Yeah.
I did
what
not
I've heard.
know that at all.
I've never read the books.
I've heard the books are fantastic.
I've heard that. I tried reading
you a
them
Stephen
and
King
couldn't
fan?
make it through the first one. I like some Stephen King. Like a lot of his stuff is too repetitive. Like there's always a psychic little kid, and there's always some sort of emotional abuse that creates the psychic little kid. And I don't know, like there's parts of Stephen King stuff that I really enjoy, and then he keeps going on. He's like the Saturday Night Live skit of horror movies. If he just wrote short stories, I would fucking love him. But as soon as he goes into novel form, he goes into extra length novel form, and I stop liking the
And
stories.
this one's really long.
Yeah, it's
the
like
books are
10
huge
fucking books. Yeah.
it is. But I've heard from other people and stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean,
Mike is a huge fan of it.
love Idris Elba. Mike Johns?
Yeah.
That makes me more likely to try reading it again at some point here.
Yeah. So Idris Elba, he's amazing.
I will probably watch this just because Idris Elba's in it, and I'll watch anything with him in it. I've watched that Mumford and Sons video like 3 times just because he's so good in it. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, I didn't know he was in one.
It's one like, I've legitimately watched it without the sound multiple times because I don't remember the song. But he wakes up, he's a blind man who wakes up with vision for the first time ever. It's really interesting.
My first experience with Idris Elba is probably the same as most people, was from The Wire.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Stringer
he's
Bell.
so
He's
fucking
so good in that.
Yeah, he's amazing in that movie.
He's so good in that like the first season you expected the Antoine, whatever.
Antoine.
What is the name of that character?
God, I can't remember.
The character. Anyway, he's the actual crime boss, and so you
Right.
expect him to be the main villain. But he is so good that anytime you never feel like he's not the person that's actually the real power in charge.
Right.
Like you never feel like it's not actually Stringer.
We also watched The Shape of Water trailer, which is the new Guillermo del Toro. It looks amazing.
Weirdly enough, it looks like Jean-Pierre Jeunet and Jean Caro film.
It does. Like,
Yes.
it looks like it takes place in the same timeline as City of Lost Children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, absolutely. It looks totally like those people's films.
Yeah.
But it also has like some of the whimsy of Amélie.
It does.
But yeah, certainly some of the darkness of Delicatessen. And yeah.
And it's got this weird... It's got that quality where you don't know what time frame it takes place in.
Right.
Because it's got, like, some newish stuff like the security cameras and that kind of thing. And then other parts that look like it's like the 20s. The cars are old school.
I do not like the actor in that movie, though.
Which actor? Michael Shannon?
Yeah, I do not like
Why
him.
not? I think he plays a bad guy
I do
really
not
well.
like him. I've never liked him in anything.
Really?
He annoys me.
Huh. I love him. I think I don't think I'd like him as a good guy, but I think he's a great bad guy.
Great. Well, I mean, he's
Maybe.
good
I
as the
guess
dad
he does make me not like him, so I
Yeah.
suppose that's perfect, I guess, for a villain.
Who?
I forget the name of the film that I liked. The one with Nicholas Hoult and
Oh, that's
and
true.
Cody Smith-McPhee.
Oh, yeah.
He plays the dad in that, and I thought he was really good.
The one with the water and God, what the fuck was that called?
I always forget.
It's a really weird, simple title too.
Yeah, it is.
God, I don't remember.
It's directed by Gwyneth Paltrow's brother.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting to cast him as Zod. Because in a role that uses so many S's, you cast a guy that has a lisp with S's.
I suppose that is true. Man, he's in a lot of stuff. Holy
He
shit.
is. He's very hot. Like, people like you, like, he's used a lot.
Young ones.
I just
Young
don't.
Ones.
Oh, I love the TV show.
It's not that. But I think you would love Young Ones, except for the fact that you don't like Michael Shannon. It's fucking amazing. It's like a... It's kind of...
Is it based on the TV show?
No, not even remotely. It's a science fiction kind of post-apocalyptic...
So no submarines are being built, or...
No. In fact, water is very scarce. A submarine would be virtually useless. It does have a cool robot dog thing, though.
Yeah,
Which is sweet.
which is mostly a practical effect because it's actually one of the Google robot things.
Yeah,
which
it's
I think
really
is
cool.
great.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how much character they're able to imbue this, like, essentially inanimate object.
Yeah, it has almost like a Star Wars droidian quality to it in its personality without being the comedy relief. which I thought was really well done. Yeah, that's a great movie. Young Ones is excellent. I think we talked about it like 20 episodes ago or something like that. Moving on to some really super sad news.
Nicholas Hoult, who's he? That's the kid
Nicholas
from...
Hoult is the Beast.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's good.
Ones. I love Nicholas Hoult.
He's good.
Cody Smith McPhee's really great
Nightcrawler.
too. Nightcrawler from the more recent X-Men movies.
Him.
He was the blue guy in it.
I haven't seen Apocalypse. If that's the one you're referring that he's in, I haven't seen that.
He was also Norman in Paranorman.
Yeah. Oh, so I've heard his voice.
Yeah. And he was the kid in The Road, which I've never seen.
I heard that movie is depressing, and as a general rule, I like movies to get me out of my depressing life and into.
Well, speaking of depressing, George Romero passed away.
Yeah.
77.
I'm still holding out on the fact that if anybody's going to come back, it's going to be him.
But he had lung cancer, apparently, and he canceled on Crypticon Seattle, where we'd planned to meet him. And
they said it was a respiratory infection
yeah,
at that point.
And it sounds like it was a really fast thing. Wow. And so either they knew it and weren't saying it at the time, or they hadn't learned it. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So, really unfortunate. It sounds like he did have 4 scripts written for his next 4 films. Wow. Only one of which is a zombie movie.
Oh, good.
And that one is a comedy zombie movie, The Road of the Dead, which his writing partner and production assistant and everything was planning on directing anyway.
Okay.
So it sounds like that one is still undead, so to speak. And the other 3 he's dedicated to trying to bring to fruition as well.
That'd be great.
Yeah, like as a legacy, I think that's great that he had that many that he had planned on doing still. Sounds like he was incredibly prolific as far as that's concerned. Like he had tons of notes about other things that he wanted to work on, and so fucking bummed about this. I always wanted to meet him.
I did too.
I mean, he's a genuine legend and benchmark in horror.
Yeah.
He created
modern zombies as we know them.
Yeah. I mean, in every sense of the word, really. Like, there's been nothing aside from the speed at which zombies move that he didn't create, basically.
A lot of it's just
that wasn't of the good stuff that was added. I mean, they've all, like, you've had a lot of movies that have played with the origin of zombies.
Right.
But they're horrible.
Yeah.
28 Days Later, I'm looking at you. An anger virus? Seriously?
I think 28 Days Later is great.
It's a great movie. It's a horrible reason why they're angry. Have you ever been
why they're angry?
Like why they're zombies? Because they're hanging out together. Have you ever seen a group of people that were so angry that they didn't get angry with each other, but they get angry at the one person that's not angry?
White supremacists.
Because that's basically what they do. It's like they're all just like, the first time you see them, they're in a chapel. And they're just hanging out in this chapel. And they're just like, hey, dude, what's up? And then this one guy walks in and they're like, hey, fuck you, you're not mad. And then they all like go chasing after him, basically. And that's like the whole movie. It's just like, hey, I'm okay. Are you mad? Yeah, I'm mad. Are you mad? Yeah, I'm mad too. Okay, let's wait for somebody who's not mad. You're gonna break my
speaker, angry man.
You know, it's...
My assumption has always been that the rage virus is only attracted to things that aren't infected.
Things that aren't raging.
Yes, they don't have the virus. But I agree. Like
they're like basically soccer hooligans that all root for the same team.
Well, my only problem with the rage virus is that it doesn't explain why they keep going after their heart's been shot, which if I remember right, 28 Days Later, you have to use, it's still a headshot thing.
I don't remember. I
can't remember.
Seen it in like a decade.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in ages either. But yeah, I think the movie's great. I'm not.
I don't know. That's still kind of a little bit fair because until the blood actually completely shuts off to your brain, you could. You die eventually.
If your heart stops pumping blood, though, you can't move your body.
Eventually, you get a couple more seconds in a headshot.
Like I feel like if your body's running on pure instinct, if your head's shot, your body could still keep going.
I don't know. I thought there was parts of that movie I really liked. I did not like the reason for their zombies. Yeah. I pretend it doesn't happen.
I like the rest of the movie, though. Yeah. Like anything that's...
I like Brendan Gleeson. Anything he's in.
Anything that tries to explain the zombies is where it starts to fall down.
That's true. It's actually... And the ones that work the best are the ones that are just like, they're zombies, dude. Whatever.
I mean, granted, Night of the Living Dead did tell you how the zombies became zombies, sort of.
Sort of.
I mean, it's a comet, so it's some sort of space-related thing.
Right.
But Night of the Living Dead is one of the few that actually has them coming out of the graves, isn't it?
I'm still waiting for a zombie movie where they use self-replicating nanites to be the reason for the
I'm
the
sure
zombies.
we'll get it before the zombie craze is
Yeah, I would
fucking
imagine.
over.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, actually.
Because basically, like, they've been programmed to make you into what a stereotyped zombie would be.
Yeah.
And so then when they bite you, they just transmit more nanites and they infect the person. And
That would be... Well, and one thing that'd be interesting about something like that...
if anybody uses that idea that watches this, I want to
Slap
sandwich.
yourself for making a fucking zombie
First
movie.
of all, you don't watch it, you listen to it. But Ben's not totally solid on the concept of podcasts.
I don't totally understand this technology thing.
Ben just
They
thinks
sit me in a room and put beer in front of me.
he's talking to my Muppet across the way here.
That's where you should have your speaker. That's totally true.
I do like that his hand stick looks like he's holding some sort of dominatrix riding crop thing.
That is, he does have almost the exact same facial expression as I have when you guys start talking about like the French directors and stuff. It's like
I do think that the nanite thing would be an interesting touch to a zombie movie in that it would be something that has the body healing itself. And that's why you don't die unless you get the headshot kind of thing or something
we could be
like
programmed.
Didn't they do
In
that
theory,
in
they could
Jason
be-
X?
Yeah. Where do you think I got it from?
Well, they could be programmed with anything.
Yeah, that's true.
But it could be like this thing of people trying to make like robots go on array type thing. Because really one of the biggest problems with robots is the opposable thumb. You can't make it. But if you infected people with nanites and basically turned a dead body into a robot.
Then it could shoot fingernails at each other.
I could. Not sure where that came from, but I'm sure they could do fingernail shooting.
Fingernail
as well.
guns. That's been my whole goal here.
Finger nail guns?
Yeah, sure. Fingernail
God.
guns. Anyway, really unhappy about hearing this.
Yeah.
Back on topic here a little bit.
That's depressing.
It was, back to depressing. Let's move past that a little bit to something that George Romero had his fingers in prior to his death that I'm excited about tracking down and finding. Jonathan Mayberry and George Romero put out a Nights of the Living Dead anthology novel. It's a bunch of short stories, including apparently one by Romero himself.
Interesting.
And Mayberry, I fucking love Mayberry stuff. I'm not so sold on his zombie stuff necessarily, but he does have a clear love for the genre.
Which one? His zombie was Patient Zero?
Patient Zero and the Pike ones?
That one started out really good.
Yes. Well, and he also did a series of young adult ones called Rotten Ruin that took place in the same world as Patient Zero, just like far, far in the future and like post-apocalyptic end of things. But he wrote the Pine Deep series of novels.
Is that the one where it's like the Hawaiian the Hawaiian town? It's the Hawaiian town.
No.
Where people are like the hulas and they have the story.
There's nothing more horrifying than Hawaii horror stories.
That should be something that happens. There should be a Hawaiian horror like now. Anyway, no, the one with the
Tiki gods.
where the Halloween is like their big.
Yes.
Yeah, those are good.
They're great. They're a great series of novels. I read them every Halloween actually because
They get the mood going. Kind of. They have a good mood. So.
Yeah. So I'm excited about this. It's got it doesn't have a lot of people I know, but it's got like John Russo, Jonathan Mayberry, Joe Lansdale, Max Brailer, Mike Carey. So it's got a pretty nice collection of them. It looks like it's available on Amazon now. It's called Nights of the Living Dead, and it's all original stuff based off of the original Night of the Living Dead movie. So it takes place in that same era, that type of story, that kind of thing. So I think it sounds really cool. And honestly, I'd just be interested just to read a short story by Romero. I think that'd be pretty cool. They have one shot of Lando from the new movie.
Yeah.
Teased by Ron Howard in the shittiest, trollish way possible.
Oh, man.
Look at that. You can't even fucking see it, but I'm so excited about it at the same time.
He appears to be in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
Doesn't that look like the Falcon?
So that's cool.
Yeah, and he's wearing a sweet yellow jacket.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about that movie, even though it's had all the weird troubles and shit.
Well, I'm more excited now that Ron Howard's taken over. So.
I am too. I think he's a great choice to replace him, even though he's really never done a movie like this.
He's handled practical effects really, really well.
He's handled practical effects. He's done interesting adventure stories. He's done all sorts of cool space stuff. But he's just never done them all at the same time, so it's going to be interesting.
I have every confidence in his ability.
I love with Donald Glover. Mm-hmm. I love him as an actor. But I just have a hard time picturing him having the smoothness of.
You think so?
What, really?
He's smooth as fuck. Are you kidding me?
Think?
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
Have you seen him in anything besides Community?
No.
Okay, that's your problem. Because he's like a fucking he's a successful rapper.
I have seen one of his videos.
He's smooth as fuck in interviews, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of anyone that I could possibly think of to play Lando, he's the only one I could have possibly named, actually.
He's amazing in Atlanta.
I just wish they
He's
would
amazing
dub
in the new
over
Spiderman.
Atlanta's amazing. He doesn't sound like that anymore, though. He sounds old. It makes me sad, but I've heard him talk at one of the shows I was at, and he...
Crap, I still have to find a Ford Falcon.
He still sounds like Lando, but he sounds like old Lando now. No dubbing, dude. Ivan Reitman has confirmed that they are still working on a live-action Ghostbusters movie and a cartoon.
I heard that.
Which I'm cool with. It sounds like both might be coming in 2019. It still makes me super fucking sad that the reboot version doesn't look like it's going to get a sequel.
I
didn't like it, so I'm
You didn't?
that. No, I didn't.
Really? I thought it was really fun.
Me too.
I mean, it took place in the Ghostbuster animated world more so than the Ghostbusters movie world, because everything was so over the top.
It was way over the top.
Everything's over the top in all of those films.
Okay,
really.
They never broke out like hand-to-hand combat weapons.
And none of them got blasted and bounced off of alleyway walls while connected to the thing and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
I mean, I love that movie. I think it's a really fun movie, but it definitely has more cartoon physics to it than the first two Ghostbusters films.
I love the cast. They had such great cast in it, but I did not care for that.
Huh? I thought it was really fun. Yeah. I still really liked it, but
I love the originals.
Well, yeah. Mitch Pileggi has confirmed that he will be in season 11 of the X-Files.
I didn't know there was any season 11,
yes.
So that's awesome.
And more importantly, according to Bloody Disgusting, fucking Darren Morgan's back as well.
I figured he would be, but is he going to do more than one episode?
I don't know. There's only 11 episodes.
He's a writer.
Oh. He's the guy that wrote Humbug. And like all the good comedy episodes of it. It sounds like there is 3 new writers plus 4 named writers: Glenn Morgan, Darren Morgan, James Wong, and Carter. So that's 7, and there's only 11 episodes. So I'm going to assume Darren probably only writes 1, but we'll have to see.
Again, it'll be the only good episode of the season.
Yeah. The more they can keep Chris Carter away from the keyboard, the better.
Sad but true.
I think he's a competent director of episodes. I just don't think he knows how to write. But that's kind of eh.
He likes the alien stuff. Way too much.
He does, which makes sense for the X-Files.
And it does, but they would put. But to be fair, those were not my none of my favorite episodes are the alien episodes.
They're all the weakest episodes.
Well, particularly the alien conspiracy episodes.
That's
because like Little Green Men, those ones. Any of those are great, but anything that involves the fucking alien virus and the guy with the neck things and stuff,
which is funny because most of them are the ones that are like the driving narrative ones, and they're not the best though.
No,
the ones that you remember are the creepy freaking ones like Home and
yeah,
or the funny ones like Humbug and.
I agree. Yeah, and like Tooms. I love fucking Tooms.
Was
he was such a
creepy.
great character.
I feel bad for that actor because he can't live down Tooms. He can be in anything else, and you're just like, dude, that guy is so creepy.
This guy's fucking creepy.
So creepy.
He's gonna be squeezing through a vent in the next scene.
Yeah,
You just know
it doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter. That guy he was so good, he cannot live that role down.
He can play a shoe salesman that's super sweet and nice, and you still assume he goes back to his bile cocoon.
Exactly. Exactly. You're never gonna picture him doing anything other than ripping the newspaper. And it's true though, which is sad because it's a testament to how good of an actor he was. But at the same time, you're like, that dude's a freak, and I know it.
Yeah.
Where's your murder den?
It's in the basement of a creepy house, of course. They've released one photo from the Fahrenheit 451 movie that they're making that I was completely unaware of. It doesn't want to load now. Ben's gonna hate it. It stars Michael B. Jordan and Michael Shannon.
Cool.
And apparently the fucking website doesn't want to load.
Michael Shannon. You're like, it's Michael Shannon in it.
Anyway, there we go. There's Michael Shannon, Ben's favorite. His buddy, Michael.
It does have Creed.
It does have Creed, I really like him.
He's a good actor. Yeah. Again, also from The Wire, fantastic as well.
Oh, that's true. I forgot he was in The Wire.
He's a good actor. I don't have any issue with him. I did not want him to play Johnny Storm because I thought that was weird.
Well, that movie was just a fucking train wreck.
Like, cast him as the Thing or Mr. Fantastic. That's fine, but like you cast him as one of the brother sister.
Well, he
duo.
was adopted in it.
I don't care. I don't care.
Sort of adopted, if I remember right. It's
terrible.
I don't know. I've blocked 98% of that.
Terrible.
Movie
I
out of my
pretend
head.
I have never even watched it, and I will never watch it. But I do. I actually like Michael B. Jordan. I think.
Are you hating on something you've never seen?
I do. I know it's a Rob and Devon thing to do.
Hey, Devon doesn't do that.
Devon doesn't. Rob does.
Rob does it. Rob does it. All Rob does is hate on things he's never seen.
Rob, that's true. That's true. I will never watch
Devon doesn't hate on something until he's seen it. Then he'll hate on it.
That's true. That's fair.
Unless it's... Who's it that you have an unreasonable hatred of? There's somebody that you hate regardless of what they put out.
J.J. Abrams?
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
That's the lens flare.
But even that, like, you've admitted that certain things that he's had a hand in you've liked, like 10 Cloverfield Lane and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just a producer.
Yeah,
Michael Shannon does not look like Michael Shannon in that picture.
I know, look how skinny he is.
But
I'm intrigued by it. I'm both excited and terrified about them adapting.
Yeah, if they don't change too much from the story, and if they keep the spirit of the thing intact, I think it'll be...
That's a wicked flamethrower.
That is a wicked flamethrower.
Well, if you're going to burn books, you got to have a badass flamethrower for it. You never know when an alien might pop out.
Yeah, you need to get that shit up to 451 degrees, man.
Right. So anyway, I don't know about that.
Which is not scientifically accurate.
No, it's not.
They burn at a much lower temperature.
Yes, they do. Maybe they make paper different in the future, though. Maybe it's made out of like plastic.
That's solid point. Yeah, they're actually they're burning iPhones. Give me your Kindle.
Just a big fucking pile of ebooks. What they're really burning is they're just burning it to a disc. It's about ebook pirates.
It's just Google going around and scanning all of your data. We've got to archive this.
Ray Bradbury's like, what the fuck, guys? Seriously? Paramount has moved dates all over the place for their movies. Sounds like the next Cloverfield movie, The God Particle, is not going to be out until 2018 now. They've also moved Aronofsky's film Up from October to September.
Ooh. More Aronofsky for me, please.
I cannot keep my eyes off of the side, like the blurbs that come across the side. And I noticed on the other one a note about Drago being in the new in Creed 2.
Huh? What?
Drago.
Are you reading all of my... Oh, that.
Drago confirmed in Creed 2.
That's weird.
I know, right?
I haven't seen the first Creed movie.
He hasn't aged terribly.
He's aged better than Stallone. Honestly. Yeah,
and Stallone's aged pretty freaking fantastic for like a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, he's like
60 something, whatever.
I think.
He's but yeah, I mean, he doesn't look like Drago anymore, but he's done.
Right.
He's still.
I love Dolph Lundgren. Like,
I do too.
Unashamedly. I have seen garbage films because Dolph Lundgren's
in it.
Like, I watched Shark Lake. And that is as terrible as it sounds.
That's awesome. So yeah, I would watch this.
Okay,
What?
whoa. Did you read the...
What?
Lundgren's Ivan Drago and probably his offspring will be involved in a big bloody battle with Adonis Creed.
See, my only problem with that is that he's written the script, and they're basing all of this off of the fact that he's written it in the script, but they haven't confirmed anything with Lundgren as far as whether he's in it or not. But that would be really funny if Lundgren shows up and he's like, "This is my child."
I know, I can't wait. Like, okay, for a story point of view, it's one of those things that it's kind of like, now we're really like going crazy. But from a fanboy perspective, I'm like, oh hell yeah, let's get some of that. And he better kill him. Like, Adonis Creed better kill Drago's son and be like,
about Rocky.
Be like, that was for my dad, yo. Boom.
You're so uncontrollably excited about Rocky right now. I'm kind of scared.
I hope that Adonis Creed actually kills Drago and then beats up his son.
Why?
Because he killed Apollo.
Yeah, he did. That's true. I forgot that.
It doesn't matter.
His...
You can't even like.
No, I totally. I genuinely forgot that it was Drago that killed Creed, Apollo in it. I forgot that was even a plot point. In my head, I'm so out of the loop Rocky-wise. I clearly don't go to the same message boards you do.
That is my least. That is my least favorite Rocky movie, and it's not because it's a bad quality movie or anything like that. It's because Apollo was my favorite character, and he gets killed in that. I'm like, screw that.
Yeah, all your favorite characters get killed in every movie that you have a connection
I think it
to.
started with Jaws because I loved Quint when I was a kid.
Yes.
Like, loved Quint.
Yes, you did. Anyway, moving on from Ben's clicking on clickbait ads on the side of my articles here. Joe Hill, who looks exactly like his fucking father now.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
creepy.
Isn't that bizarre? He looks like 1971 Stephen King.
He kind of looks like Jason Schwartzman playing Stephen King.
That would be I would watch the shit out of that movie.
I would too.
So I
still wish he went as Joe King.
The new It, and ranked it as one of his 5 scariest movies ever.
Yeah, I heard that. Did he say his other 5?
He did.
Oh.
That's the only reason I clicked on this article. Jaws, The Exorcist, Let the Right One In, and The Thing.
Okay.
Are his top 5.
Wow, those are solid choices.
They are.
That's
like, I put no credence to it until I read what his other 4 choices were. So it's interesting. I'm getting more and more intrigued by this movie by the day, honestly.
How do you top Tim Curry though?
With not having terrible stop motion spiders and 74 hours
Tim
of
Curry,
film.
man.
I mean, I love Tim Curry, but that movie wasn't particularly good. I mean, his performance was fine.
Tim
but
Curry's the
not...
only good part of that movie.
It's pretty true.
Every kid actor in it is atrocious.
I thought you were going to say every movie that Tim Curry's in, he's the only good part of it.
No, but
true.
he's rarely bad in it. And have you seen the trailer for it?
No.
Okay, Ben's got to watch the trailer.
I haven't watched the trailer for it either.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
It kind of hasn't interested me.
When you're a kid.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so
anyway, it looks pretty creepy.
It actually does. I like the way it's filmed. I like the set pieces are really good. The kid actors seem like they would be really good actors from what they show in this. The thing that's made me kind of stay away from this is they went out of their way to make almost the clown too overly creepy, and I thought that like the clown didn't need to look super creepy. It's a clown that acts creepy.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really that, like,
I don't know, I think
intentionally creepy. It's not like he has, like, bloody pointed teeth or anything like that. He's literally just
Which
wearing...
Tim Curry did.
What's that?
Which Tim Curry did.
Right, right.
I don't know, I haven't liked the design.
Because, I mean, he's literally just wearing an old-timey clown outfit with old-timey clown makeup on. He's not like...
And he has a projection of the kid's fear, right?
Which is true.
So
That's fair.
Yeah.
if he sees clowns as scary,
That's
why
fair.
wouldn't he see a
That's
scary
true.
clown?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds interesting.
It looks far better than I ever thought it would.
Well, and the thing that I think is really interesting about it is like the girl member of the Losers Club. Apparently, like in the book, she's a victim of sexual abuse, and that is addressed in this film where it was completely glossed over in the last one. In the last one, she just got slapped around by her dad a couple of times.
I mean, it wasn't made for TV miniseries,
right? And so they're definitely. They're not afraid to do what needs to be done in it. So it sounds pretty interesting as far as that's concerned.
I'll keep an open mind, but I'm still not excited.
I'll watch it. Yeah. I will watch it. I had no intention of actually watching it before.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to take a break and be back with reviews in a minute. Hey there, pod people. It's me, Kris. If you're enjoying the Podcasket and would like to let us know about a movie we should watch, a comic we need to review, or a book you want me to read, send me a message. Deeply Dapper is my username on most social media sites, including Twitter and Instagram, or you can send me an email at deeplydapper@gmail.com. You can also find links at deeplydapper.com, and while you're there, you can stream and download all of our podcasts, read our blog, see what shows I'll be at, and shop for the best in handmade geeky goods. If you enjoy Deeply Dapper Dispatches and the Podcasket, please take a moment to subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, and leave us a review. It helps more people find the show, and we love to know you're out there in the dark listening. If you do leave us a review on iTunes, or if you'd just like to reach out to us for any other reason, send me an email at deeplydapper@gmail.com, and I'd love to send you a little something in the mail as a thank you for reviewing the show and letting other people know that we're out there. Now back to the dispatches. All right, so let's move on to our reviews.
Hello.
While Devon plays with Ursa.
Yeah, what? She's been sweet.
So Devon and I watched episode 2 of Blood Drive.
Fuck yeah.
And it's continuing to be my favorite show on TV.
Fuck yeah.
It's so fucking good. Like, I think the second episode might be better than the first one.
I agree.
I'm blown away by how fun this fucking show is.
Like, if I wanted to get somebody into the show, I would probably show them that one.
It's great. Yeah, like, it gives you a little bit of background on it still, but it throws you balls deep into the action fast enough that it doesn't... And fuck, man, dude, they push some boundaries on this thing.
Holy shit.
There's ground-up bodies and penis corn dogs.
The gore is, yeah.
Is that where that came?
That's where that
reference came from.
Yeah.
Did you come up with the song? Was the song in there?
No.
Yeah, there's all sorts of disturbing cannibalism. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Lots and lots of practical effects.
Yeah.
And so much gore.
Intense violence, disturbing scenes.
Yeah.
It freely admits that one a pair of the racers are homosexual together.
Yeah.
by showing us a sex scene.
Yeah, but not in like those two are not in a healthy relationship
oh my
at all.
God. No. In fact, like, their dynamic becomes just even more
it's so messed up and weird.
Like, he's clearly got issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's... And the guy and his puppy, Caligula.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's so interesting to see, like, all of these qualities of the other racers be expanded upon.
Yeah.
So...
adding a little personality to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty neat. I can't wait for the next episode, honestly. Like, this is so fucking fun. It's beautifully filmed. This particular episode, the way it was directed was so great.
Dude, the scene where he's cutting up Fat Elvis in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and
the swinging door.
The door swings, and each time it swings and lets you see, like, he's a little further in with the body.
It's great.
I mean, sorry for the spoilers, but, like, you have to see it to believe it. It's so well done.
Yeah, and all these, like, gorgeous tracking shots through the diner.
Oh, yeah, like one of the first shots, I think maybe even the establishing shot was this cutlass scene that goes through the entire diner. It's great.
Yeah, it's following the booty of a very Friday the 13th style, actually. Short shorts follow this tracking shot of the waitress, and it shows all the depravity and the customers, and great fucking show. If you're not watching Blood Drive, track it down. It's still on Sci-Fi. You can watch it on their website. It's fun as shit.
So Fat Elvis is not making that past this episode, I'm assuming.
Oops.
Perhaps.
Okay.
And man, does that guy look like a John Lovett's brother or
That was
something.
I was rooting for him to win.
Yeah, no.
Remind me to bet you next time.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you know his
Said
favorite
rooting.
character
I didn't
always
say it. I didn't
dies,
say
so...
it. That's true, that's fair.
So that still continues to be an 8 out of 8 show for me, without question.
Concur.
Then we watched The Void.
Whoa.
Damn it, I left the air conditioner on. Hold on just a second, guys. Sorry, everybody. Podcasting when it's 90 degrees is hard.
Does it translate over or something?
Yeah, you just hear the hum in the background the whole time. Sorry, everybody. We're really professional podcasters here.
Oh, yeah.
If you'd like to hear us record without the air conditioner running, support our Patreon so we can afford ice for our beverages.
Right.
So we watched The Void tonight. Devon, why don't you give us the plot of The Void?
So
Spoiler free.
Sure. It follows a bored small town cop who obviously hates his job and he's got a chip on his shoulder, and you find out why a little later. But he comes across this person emerging from the woods who has just run away from these two people that lit a woman on fire after shooting her with a shotgun. It's pretty bleak. And so he takes this kid to a hospital that is closing down because it had suffered a fire. Mm-hmm. But they were mid-transition, so there's a skeleton crew.
Small town.
Very small
middle of
town.
nowhere.
So there's a doctor, a nurse, and an intern, a grandfather, and his...
2 nurses, actually.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And a grandfather and his pregnant granddaughter.
Yeah, there's literally 2 patients in the entire hospital, and one of which is still waiting to be seen, amusingly.
Yes. So, no, there's the guy in the bed.
Right, well, not counting the guy that the sheriff brings in, I meant there were 2 patients.
No, the guy in the bed that the intern's talking to.
Yeah, the guy in the bed and the pregnant girl.
I guess the
only 2
grandfather's not a
patients.
patient.
Yeah, no, he wasn't very patient at all, in fact.
No, he wasn't. Okay, all right. And so brings the kid to the hospital and tries to. Oh yeah, I forget. Something strange happens, and he winds up discharging his firearm and has to go call it in. But when he goes outside, not only does the phone not work and does his radio not work, he gets stabbed by a cultist.
And these cultists are fucking creepy looking.
Oh my god, they look kind of like the Ku Klux Klan because they've got the white robes, but they have these black triangles on the hoods.
Yeah, like Ben was saying, that's like the perfect symbology for them to use because it's just the right thing to be creepy.
Yeah.
It's vague, but not super intricate either.
Well,
it's a strong image.
Yeah. And if it had been a square or an oval, it would have looked so silly.
Well, even if you went crazy and you did some kind of weird chaos route, it still would have looked wrong. It was just right.
Yeah, like if they'd done some sort of Rorschachian symbol or something cultier looking.
Yeah, pentagram or eye. Yeah, I don't think any of that would have worked.
Yeah, it was great.
So they get sort of locked in the hospital together, and then the 2 people that had burned the woman show up, and shit goes down in the most bizarre Lovecraftian way. Yeah,
and I think that's a pretty solid non-spoiler version of the movie. What do you guys think? Non-spoiler. Initially.
Initially non-spoiler, I will give this movie an 8 out of 8. And I do that because I cannot think of a way to make it better. I cannot think of something they didn't do great. The non-monster enemies are great. The effect stuff is great. The acting is great. If they had more money and gotten bigger named actors, they probably would have ruined it.
I agree.
The effects were great. The dialogue was good. The story was great. I can't, for what it is, I cannot think of any way they could have made it better. And so, like, I can't imagine not giving it, like, the top score.
Yeah, what about you, Devon?
I completely agree with Ben.
Yeah. It's definitely an 8 out of 8 for me, too. Like, there's a little nitpick quibbles I could have with a few things as I was watching it, but mostly just dumb things people did, or slightly, like, off-kilter reactions to things, but that's still stuff that people would have really done, kind of thing. And, like, as from a pure filmmaking standpoint, this movie is incredibly well done. It's gorgeous, some of those tracking shots and the city and the nighttime views.
Yeah, the trees. Like,
so good.
The setting of, like, the hospital, like, when they go down into the... When you see the part that's been, like, hit by the fire, it's, like, awesome. It just looks like so
fire.
good.
Yeah.
And even the little minor details, you can... The drag across the floors and
yeah.
stuff. I mean,
it's... Great.
Yeah, so past this point we'll do spoilers, but if you haven't seen The Void, it's available on Netflix. All of us loved it. Like, I was riveted the entire time we were watching this. It's uncomfortable. It's got some great effects. It's gory as fuck.
Lots of callbacks to other horror films.
Yes, yeah, lots of really nice little nods.
Both, like, literal callbacks and more general ones.
And I would say this is probably one of the best Lovecraftian feel films.
Yes. Oh, they just nailed it.
It's perfect.
You get the cosmic horror, you get the cultists, you get the small town paranoia.
Yeah.
You get the kind of xenophobia. Yeah. It's,
you get the tentacles.
Yes.
Yeah, there are tentacles.
Yeah. So, if you don't want to hear any spoilers for The Void, you can either go watch it and come back to us, or you can hop over to deeplydapper.com, where theoretically I'll post a timestamp that you can come back around, or I'll pop it into this, and you can hear our picks of the pod. But in the meantime, spoilers. Hey there, everybody. If you want to avoid spoilers for The Void, go ahead and skip ahead to the 1 hour and 9 minute mark, where we pick up with Pick of the Pod and Shame and Tell.
I almost don't want to spoil.
I think there's only so much we should spoil, definitely.
Like, I really don't. Like,
but I do feel like... we should give some admiration and props to those motherfucking fabricators on
the monsters were amazing.
Seriously, the monster effects, the practical monster effects. I saw maybe like 2 seconds of CG.
Maybe, and what was there was really subtle.
And I love the fact that they never focus long enough on anything to really make you feel like...
Well, and I was worried at the beginning.
As amazing as they are, it's cool that they didn't focus that much on it.
Yeah, I love that
still only caught glyphs of...
Well, it was like an Alien or The Thing type feel, where they just showed parts of it. And I was worried at the very beginning where the nurse turns into the creature.
Oh my god, the nurse was...
Because at first they didn't show much of her, where they had that scene where like suddenly the guy was like, "Harf!" and then there was a pole there, and then you didn't see anything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like a few beats later.
It looked like a blob of meat initially.
Yeah. And I was really
as soon
worried.
as you realize there was actually like a nurse body dangling on the front of it, it's like, God. Okay, this is pretty freaking good.
So fucking cool, and the way her face opens up and those tentacles are writhing around.
Do you know what all of the monsters really reminded me of is like Junji Ito?
Oh, yeah, a little
how
bit,
he draws his monsters.
Yeah, very Japanese tentacle monster horror, actually. Yeah, like, the design stuff is non-biological. Like, there's elements of it that you can see, that you can identify. Like, there's a little bit of insectoid stuff. There's some tentacles.
Well, I think it's very biological, but it's not, like, identifiable.
Well, I guess it's non... Yeah, it's not anthropomorphized in any kind of way. Like, there's nothing you can look at and be like, that's the dog beast. That one's the spider beast.
Right, yeah, no.
They're all just
it's
fucking
just
horrors.
Clusters of nightmares.
Yeah, and there are dozens of them in this.
Dude, my favorite one is probably that, like, upside-down contortionist one.
That was great.
Holy
cow! Well, and some of the effects work in this were so great. Like that one that was headbutt.
I was gonna say that one was my favorite. The one that was like, I mean, it's like, especially since they explain why it's been just sitting there, like demolishing its own head. I mean, it's crazy.
The thing that blows me away at that is it looked like a practical effect. I assume it was, but it looked like somebody's head on shoulders headbutting a fucking pole. There was no like animatronic sense to that or puppetry feeling. It felt like a head headbutting a pole.
Okay, so there is one thing that I'm going to spoiler because it's the one thing that I'm kind of like a little but it's definitely a very minor and not like one thing when you watch, like if you've ever watched, which I know you guys have, the 13 Ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
That one. One of the things that always bothered me about that is when you actually watched the part that had the backstory, it never explained why the blacksmith was actually out to kill people. And that's one of the things when you go down when they go down in these monsters and you realize, and you're told that they are wanting to die. They lit the fire because they want to die and he won't let them. There's nothing that really actually hits you as to why they would try to kill other people.
Well, I don't know that... Well, I mean, I get that, I guess. You're saying... Why are the monsters trying to kill other people when they come down?
Maybe they totally understood that these people were carrying weapons, and if they
wanted to die.
Maybe, but at the same time, like they do go so far as to actually kill one of them.
Yeah.
So it's not a situation of like, hey, kill me. I'm going to threaten you until you kill me. They literally kill one of them.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that.
They're suffering and live eternally. I'd be pretty pissed too.
But at the same time, like I sometimes I have a hard time with that thing, with the philosophy that like you are suffering, so you want to make other people suffer.
Yeah, well, it happens all the fucking time.
It does.
And I think there might have been more than just the suffering and wanting to die, though I feel like there was a biological imperative implanted in these things to reproduce and create more of them. Because, I mean, that's definitely what happened.
You do have to die in order to become one.
Yeah, and that's what they did to the state trooper that they pulled down the hall, was she was creating more of them by implanting the tentacle shit into him until he was violently decapitated
and lit on fire.
Yes,
that's fair. I just ran into that same thing. It's like the idea of these tortured people and beings. I didn't to me I guess I'm a gentle soul. Like if I'm tortured, I don't want to drag other people.
Well, and I would say like this was intense in terms of like it deals with some like motherhood, fatherhood,
it's
childhood
a lot about
stuff,
loss, and like one of the biggest horrors being the inability to save or protect your offspring.
True. Yeah, all of the major characters in this.
I mean, your father, you probably think that's horrifying.
I don't even try. I try not to even think about it.
Right? Yeah. It's like I was honestly worried at a couple points. I'm like, I wonder what Ben thinks.
Yeah. As somebody that just has dogs for children, for me, it was even intense for me. Just the fact that all of the major characters in this had experienced some sort of familial loss, and pretty well handled too for what was essentially a Lovecraftian creature feature. The emotions and stuff were fucking great.
And almost all of the characters got arcs.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even if they weren't huge arcs, they got arcs, and that was really nice.
You know what I probably got that you get, like what I hit that hit me that maybe you guys didn't get? I totally empathized with the doctor. I'm like, there hits a point in time where it's like, if I lost Finley, I'm not sure what the limit of what I would do to actually try to bring him back.
I get that. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I would actually do to, like, so there's part of you is like, you do actually empathize with the reason why he did what he did. It's like, at a certain point, you're like,
they handled that so subtly too. Like the reveal was really well done because the doctor had just a little bit of hints of it prior to it, but nothing that made me think, oh well, he's clearly fucked up. And like the pregnant girl stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't expect
I didn't see that coming at all
until literally the turning point that I was like, oh shit. And God, what a great movie.
I kind of predicted the girl. I didn't predict Because I thought it was going to be the girl and the grandpa were both going to be.
See, and I expected something to be wrong with the baby,
because
but not
the doctor,
them
but
in
not
on
that it's
it.
his baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that it was the doctor's baby was super squicky and gross.
I thought there was going to be a point in time where it was going to be like starting to reveal that there was going to be some kind of a monster, and the nurse would be freaking out, and the grandpa was going to be like, it's beautiful, and then shoot her because he had the gun at that point. That's literally what I expected was going to happen. So I was shocked.
So my one complaint about this is that the cultists
seemed kind of useless.
They
were sinister though.
But were they human? Because they never indicated it one way or the other, and it never gave any kind of indication as to why they were supporting him and what was going on.
It was like a cult though.
Yeah.
It was like they were just like the cultist followers, because he was like, we've drawn all of my followers here.
Well, and they've definitely they made reference when they were talking about the drug den and how people were experimenting, and how I imagine there was some sort of integration during that to do it.
I mean, it wouldn't be surprising to me if the doctor didn't have like a grief and loss group where he was recruiting people.
That's true.
That's fair.
Yeah, and so that was one part where...
They did call it a church.
They did, actually. And I think that was a nice touch. I feel like that was the only spot, considering the arcs and the backgrounds that they gave on everyone, the fact that one of them was never, unmasked and interrogated or something like that.
We did see one's head explode.
We did.
And that was satisfying.
Yeah, that was pretty great. But yeah, man, fucking great
I really thought
monsters.
the father and his mute, and I'm assuming son.
Yeah,
I thought those were actually really interesting characters.
Yeah,
they were really well done. It was.
Yeah.
It's like he was angry, but you knew why he was angry.
Yeah,
he reacted it was really good. I thought he reacted how you would react if you were in the same kind of situation almost as he was.
Yeah, really the
whole
only
time.
two
Really
one-note characters were the intern and the meth head.
The intern actually had her own arc. I mean,
she did.
Because
but
she went from being this obnoxious, apathetic young thing who wanted to be somewhere else to someone completely panicking and unable to process where she was.
Yeah.
And then finally she's able to get up and move and save her own ass.
Yeah, and granted, her arc consisted of her being terrified and hiding in a closet, but fuck, who wouldn't at that point? Seriously.
The things you'd have already seen.
Yeah. I mean, really, the meth head was the only one that didn't have an arc per se.
Yeah, it was really well acted, across the board.
Yeah,
it really was, especially when you look at these guys' page. IMDb pages, and they've only been in 10, 11 things.
Yeah, this was great. It was a Indiegogo originally. It was filmed in Ontario, Canada, in the same hospital as
Planet
Terror, which I thought was pretty cool.
Really?
Which is also interesting because that means that hospital's just fucking sat empty. Or did they just...
How did you find that out?
It's on the IMDb.
We saw the IMDb. I love this movie. 8 out of 8, absolutely. It's free on fucking Netflix. Go watch it there. I don't believe it has a Blu-ray release yet.
The only reason you should not watch this movie is if you don't like horror.
Yeah.
Didn't I see that Shout Factory was putting it out?
Oh, really?
I could be wrong, but you could search this faster than I can on my phone.
Let's see if it's on Amazon here.
I feel like I saw it somewhere, and if it wasn't...
That's the video.
They've got the DVD.
Click the DVD. Maybe I saw it on Diabolic DVD.
So I see it on DVD here,
we'll
but it's
scroll down
$19.
and list the release company.
Where's that?
Scroll down.
Oh,
there.
Should I go to Shout? This is Screen
9th.
Media.
So it's been out since May 9th, 2017.
So should I check... Here, let me check. Let me click on, the actor here. Yeah, they only have that listed. It's just the one format besides streaming. There is a Blu-ray here, but it's clearly not domestic yet.
Oh, yeah, it was on Diabolic DVD that I saw it.
So not Shout Factory?
No.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's...
Oh, in fact, it's available only at diabolicdvd.com. And there are currently only 2 left in stock.
Holy
shit. Well, I mean, it is a great fucking flick.
It is a really good film.
I don't fault them for that. That's interesting.
I would shell out $23 for that.
Yeah. So it is on Blu-ray. It's on diabolicdvd.com for $23. It does say they only have 2 left, but I assume they'll get more, right?
Oh, I can only imagine.
It does have a director's commentary, a visual effects team commentary, and a making of featurette. The visual effects commentary would be really interesting this, I would think. Because it was great. Like, all the gore, the blood splatter, the monsters, all of it was so great.
It was really well done. Yeah. Especially knowing that this was a crowdfunded effort. I mean,
yeah,
it's amazing.
So great.
This shows you that crowdfunded movies can be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and especially, like, crowdfunded indies without the backing of studios. Like Veronica Mars turned into a great movie, but the studio fucking backed half its funds and everything on it. So, yeah, this was fun. I really enjoyed the shit out of this movie.
Really good.
Should we move on to the pick of the pod? Do you guys have any picks this week?
Did you come up with a pick?
Picky.
I am going to pick of. Well, you think I will go.
You go for it.
I'm going to pick of the pod. The Big Trouble in Little China board game.
Uh-huh.
I have not gotten a chance to. I will not get a chance to play it until November, but I will be playing it in November thanks to my beautiful, beautiful lady.
And your wife, too, right?
Yes. Because she ordered it for me for Father's Day. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
She was very disappointed that it was not coming out until November, but I assured her that was okay.
Yes, it's okay. It's worth waiting for because it looks really fun.
It does. It looks very, very fun. It looks fantastic. I don't know. It's a co-op adventure game. It's like everybody plays on the same team, and I think that's a very fun concept that you're actually starting to see more in board games.
I love co-ops. Like those are the only games Lindsay will play are co-ops for the most part. Like she likes the occasional other one, but
and why don't we play Arkham Horror more often? Oh yeah, the 12 hours of setup.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The madness ensued.
Have you ever checked to see if there's like a digital version of that? Because they've started actually releasing some board games as digital versions. And the main bonus of it is the fact that, one, you don't have to constantly check your rule book because the game's right there.
Right.
And two, the setup time.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but, like, I play video games all the fucking time. Sometimes I want to do something that doesn't involve a screen.
I totally agree with you. There's something about the actual filling of cards and in some like cases the really intricate pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
tactile experience.
I'm dying to play that Fortune and Glory.
Yeah, we need to find
dying to play that because I've always wanted to play that.
I just my only problem with that game is it's a 2-hour playtime once you know how to play the fucking thing.
But it looks so amazing. I mean, it is like it's pulp heroes looking for treasures in the world fighting Nazis. I'm like, this. If there was ever a game that was designed for me, this is the game.
Yeah, it looks really fun. I've pulled it out a couple of times and like started to set it up, and I've literally like gotten overwhelmed and put it back in the box.
It looks incredible, but that one I really can't help even with because I've never actually played that. Like I've at least played Shadows of Brimstone. I played one game of that. It's kind of weird that we're starting to see these really intricate board games that are starting to like cross the line of like role playing. Because one thing about that Shadows of Brimstone is apparently you can actually keep characters. I don't know if that's like you actually like you can what you win in this game you will keep on a character sheet and keep playing. You can play the same characters.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. So it really is like bridging that role playing game versus a board game.
That is interesting. Yeah.
So
what about that game you crowdfunded? That sci-fi one with
Rocket
the space
Ships and
werewolf? Yeah. Have you gotten any updates or anything on it yet?
Not that I've read. They've probably sent me a few, but
you get 74 emails a day, and you're like half of them are sales on toys.
I really do. Yeah. I know it's coming out in like August or September, so it should be here soon.
So my pick of the pod this week, because we haven't talked about it on the show, even though you and I saw it, is we went and saw Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, did we not talk about it on the show? Oh, we didn't.
No.
We just came home.
Yeah. We went and saw it in 3D.
Yes, totally worth it.
Fucking amazing.
How many villains are in this movie?
One.
Just
one?
I mean, he's got henchmen.
Because I've heard the I know that the main one is the Vulture.
There are two Shockers.
But there's Shockers,
Yeah,
and then I've also heard that the Scorpion's somewhere in it. Which I'm interested in that because it's weird because Nathan Fillion has actually gone on record as saying that's the character he wants to play in the Marvel Universe.
I will say that the villains in this are done in a very non-traditional way.
And technically the Prowler's in it, too.
The Prowler's name-checked in it.
In the best moment of the whole film.
It's really fun. Like, it is the best fucking Peter Parker ever.
Yep.
He is absolutely tone perfect for Peter Parker. He's geeky. He's like overwhelmed by things. He wants to do good. He loves his Aunt May, and Aunt May's
a little too
really
hot.
great.
I think
No, she's so
that
much.
was Devon's complaint too.
It was
initially.
my complaint. She's so much better in this, and they don't play up any romance between Tony Stark and her, and I appreciate that.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
that's not
that
a
would
thing.
be terrible.
They definitely mention her in a
during
MILF
the beginning.
style thing. In
It's
a couple
true
moments.
though. Marissa Tomei has aged very well.
They have, but they don't play up her sexiness in this. Like, she's dressed well. She's definitely somebody that takes care of herself, but she doesn't wear excessive makeup. She looks tired.
I don't know. Aunt May always looked like Jessica Tandy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I think the Aunt May in the first Spider-Man films were fucking fantastic.
Perfect casting. Perfect casting.
But I loved this movie. It was so fun. The action sequences were fucking amazing. Good humor in it. It's not really. I think it might be one of my absolute favorite Marvel movies, without question.
Oh, it's easily one of mine.
So now that we have a new Spider-Man and a new company and everything, what do you think the odds of seeing some of the actual good casting that we saw from some of the other Spider-Mans coming back?
Virtually none, I think.
And see, that's kind of heartbreaking a bit because, in all honesty, Doc Ock, amazing.
Yeah, he was great casting. Yep. I haven't seen him in anything in ages, though. Like, I don't even know if he's still acting.
He is. I saw him in something recently.
Molina?
I forget what it was.
But the thing is, too, he's
been doing TV stuff, hasn't he, more?
I think a lot on the BBC.
I wasn't sure what I felt about Keaton playing the Vulture.
Oh, he's perfect.
The version of him is amazing, and Keaton's phenomenal.
So good.
I loved everything about this movie.
There's nothing about it that I did not like.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's been a week and a half now, and Devon's had time to stew.
Yeah, so it's the retrospective.
Yeah.
No, I'd go see it again.
Yeah, so it's great. So that's my pick of the pod. I absolutely loved Spider-Man Homecoming. I thought it was fun. I thought the action sequences were fucking amazing. They didn't overuse Tony Stark either, although he is in it.
To me, I'm not terribly surprised that this movie turned out really good because when I watched Civil War, my favorite parts were Paul Rudd and Spider-Man.
Yeah, really. Ant-Man and Spider-Man.
Ant-Man and Spider-Man were the best. Yeah. They stole. Okay, that's not entirely true. Black Panther's awesome.
Yes,
that's true. Yeah.
He looks really good, and I say that begrudgingly because I really, really wanted Idris Elba to play Black Panther.
I will say that the tiny bit of Steve Rogers you get in this film is excellent as well.
It was well played.
It was really well. He's got a tiny little cameo role, and he's fantastic in it. And the opening shot, without spoiling anything directly, is really awesome because it picks up immediately preceding Civil War, and it's shot from him filming a kind of film on his iPhone heading to Civil War kind of thing. Really cool. I love this movie. He feels like a teenager. He feels like a high school kid. And so do everybody else in it, which is important.
Everything I've seen, it looks really good.
Yeah.
It does. I
It has Legos in it.
Because you decided to go to
It
the
does.
theater.
It has the Lego Death Star.
I'm sorry if we have to go to the Tuesday matinees to get in cheap. It's not my fault.
Some people work.
It's the only time I can afford to go to the movies.
That's fair. It is. They're ridiculously expensive nowadays.
Yeah. Well, and especially the 3D in this is phenomenal.
It's really good. I think it's the first 3D film I've ever seen where it didn't look too dark to me.
Yeah, the
first time
brightness was
ever.
great. And the depth and the fidelity in the depth was just amazing. I literally tried to look around Keaton's shoulder multiple times.
Yeah,
Movie theaters are starting to fall into the same issues I have with sports stadiums. Which is, I know that's a weird segue on this show. But it's true because I'm okay with paying your excessive concession prices if your tickets are cheap. Or I'm okay with paying your excessive tickets if your concessions are cheap. And movies and stadiums are starting to branch into this realm of we're just gonna make everything expensive.
Oh Jesus, yeah. When I went to that playoff game with Tom, fucking beers were $12.
I can't even imagine a playoff game. I really can't.
The hot dog I got was $17.
Was that the Giants? San Francisco.
It was the Giants, and I don't fucking remember who else, but I didn't even really watch the game.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. And
it was obscene.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's one or the other. Either bring in your really hardcore fans and give them some cheap tickets and gouge them on your concessions, or let people come and see and make it an event where they can come and watch something they really love and not get gouged on the price of a bottle of water.
Well, and that's the thing I do love about, it's AMC now, but it was Carmike. They do a Stimulus Tuesday, and so fucking matinees on Tuesday are $5.
Yep.
And then they do the $4 giant popcorn bucket and $4 soda. So realistically,
that is really good. That's great. That is fantastic.
Yeah, Lindsay and I can go to a movie,
well, it's
get
funny.
popcorn and a soda for $20.
Your best deals anywhere is always on a Tuesday.
Yeah, and that's because most of the time when I go to a movie on a Tuesday afternoon, I'm watching it with 7 senior citizens. That's it. For a period of time, Devon and I were the only people at Spiderman Homecoming in their big D 3D theater. Yeah, it was so empty.
6 or 7 people wound up coming in.
Yeah,
that's still. We were the first ones there. We're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
do we have the theater to ourselves?
600-seat theater or something obscene like that.
It's not brand name IMAX, but it's like an IMAX theater.
It's big. It's nice. It's got the good sound.
It was great.
Terrible name. The marketing on that is horrible.
The Big D and
the Big D is a terrible name.
Sexy porn noise that they make when they advertise it. It's so bad. It's fucking terrible. Yeah. So Devon,
that's some weird marketing.
Nope, got nothing.
No shame and tell.
Nope.
No shame and tell.
Nope, nothing.
You haven't bought anything shameful. You haven't received anything shameful.
Yeah, I got some cool new shoes.
Come on, you're not gonna tell me about fucking Dutch?
Yeah, Dutch is cool.
Is he cool?
Yeah.
I expected you to bring him so I could see
Well, this
him.
is the most boring conversation.
Yeah, Devon doesn't care anymore.
Hey, what about you're gonna tell me about Dutch? Dutch is great.
Yeah, Devon does. Awesome. Devon's given up apparently tonight, so I guess we're done tonight, guys. Devon doesn't give a shit anymore. He's just playing with the dog.
Just
and
whatever.
Us.
I've got a great Dutch somewhere. I don't even know what is it. Dutch oven?
Dutch. No, it's Dutch from fucking Predator.
Like a toy?
Business Dutch.
Yeah, so NECA...
Business Dutch.
No, it's Jungle Briefing.
Jungle Briefing.
Dutch. So it's Dutch from the beginning of the film when he first...
With the bro shake. The bro shake.
The package is even, made so he's doing the arm
There's
wrestle thing.
There's a disembodied arm on the side of the package.
So
it's really
bizarre.
funny.
That is... So did they come out with a Jungle Briefing of
Dylan? Dylan!
Yeah.
No, they don't have likeness rights for him.
No, they just literally have a cutout of his arm on the package.
Yeah. Seriously?
Yeah, they can. I mean, they can only do figures they can get.
Come on, Carl Weathers. Seriously, what else are you
never
doing?
See a Billy or any of those guys too.
What are they all doing?
Well, Billy.
I always find
we talked about Billy.
I find it very strange to me when people won't like it. Like for me, it's like I will sign my rights over to anybody that wants to make an action figure of me.
Right, but Billy, we talked about him a few episodes ago, and apparently for a while he wasn't doing
the.
I don't know. Were he was like supposedly legless in a car accident and living in a hotel.
Is that true?
And we can't
Did that
find
end up
out.
being true?
We couldn't
really can't
confirm
find
it.
out, yeah.
I've not been able to find out whether that's accurate.
That has always been the off-screen death that has pissed me off the most in almost all of cinema.
I know, he
Yeah.
deserved more.
Yeah,
He
really
did. The setup for it was so freaking badass. To just have it be like nothing was one of the most disappointing things.
So, if you'd like to get a hold of us, you can go to
Oh, are we done?
deeplydapper.com. Yeah, Devin's given up already, so
I thought we were engaging him. We were actually getting him talking about this figure. And then we were just like, whatever.
I'm tired too. It's all right. Devin's allowed to be sleepy.
Thank you.
Sleep is for the weak.
I've been waking up like 4 or 5 times in the
Bed
middle
never
of
sleeps.
the morning every day, and I'm just exhausted.
Yeah, so if you'd like to go to deeplydapper.com and reach us, our contact info is all up at the top. There's also links to our newest Kickstarter, which is
on the
going
top.
for another 2 weeks. And that's our Ticks-inspired Infested pin.
Infested!
Yes, the movie Ticks, starring Seth Green and Clint Howard.
And Amy Dolenz.
And Amy Dolenz.
Okay, that's quite the cast.
And Carlton from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, does he dance?
I don't think so. He tries to act badass briefly.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop Carltoning it. You can also find me under Deeply Dapper at Twitter or Instagram or on the Facebook. Devon is under Devon's Ego on Instagram if you want to find him.
Actually, if you want to find me, you have to go down to the non-existent alternate reality sub-basement and open up a triangle-shaped portal into the unknown.
Oh!
See, I was just going to go with, you've got to call me from the morgue. I was going to go simple. You went way complex on that. It's like, yeah, just dial me up from the morgue. Go to your nearest county morgue and dial me up. I'll answer.
It seems like the only one you're going to be able to get a hold of this week is me, guys, unless you really do have a creepy abandoned hospital somewhere.
It doesn't have to be abandoned. It's just you might get some weird looks. It's like, can I use your phone for a second? I got to call a dude. I don't know his number.
It has to be here in the morgue, though. It's very important.
But it's very important. It's from the morgue. I'm sure it's a direct line. I don't know. It's like Batman. It's like the red phone or something.
You just type in
it's
BEN on the phone.
Yeah, I don't know.
What would that be? It'd be 248, maybe? I don't know. My numbers aren't on phones anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird.
You dial 666 to get me.
Yeah, I assume so, yeah. You have to sacrifice a dozen people to get there, too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I assume so. Creepy mutant
I am
creatures
far
and things.
cheaper than Devon.
Yeah. Well, I'm the cheapest of all, so you just have to be able to access
No
the
sacrifice
internet to
needed.
contact me.
You just have to break into your nurse hospital.
Yeah, basically that's good enough.
But it's the morgue, at least. It's not like I'm asking you to break into some place where it's like high-risk patients that you could kill or something. It's like, these guys are already
They
dead.
protect the morgue pretty well in most of the movies that I have experience with.
In those movies.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to steal a sick patient, but I've seen people steal bodies from the morgue all the time. Happens all the time.
All the time.
It's a constant problem. And
I think it's a difference between what
Morgue
we've watched,
work.
because I think I've actually seen more sick patients stolen from a hospital than I've seen
I've seen sick patients escape from a hospital.
Babies.
You steal babies from hospitals?
I don't, but other
Man, this
people do.
explains so much.
Still,
Is that what the eclipse is
find a good
passing
one.
directly over us?
we had to trade up for the best different model.
You're like, this isn't the proper Finley. We need a slightly bigger boned one.
That one's far cuter. Can we have that one?
Understandable. Anyway, everybody.
Can we have a less beardy one?
Your kid would come out with a fucking beard, wouldn't it?
Boy or girl.
Yeah, right. Can we get the male with the beard instead of the female with the beard? Is that acceptable?
We just trade.
Yeah, no one will
know.
notice. It's fine.
I'll throw in a couple Reggie Jacksons if you know. That'll sweeten the deal.
Reggie Jackson? The baseball player?
Yeah, it's like baseball cards are trading.
I just assumed you were going to give him Andrew Jackson.
I guess imagine. No way. Come on. Come on.
You're like, I'm not going to give him real money.
I can't remember the last time I had cash. I actually worry. That's actually something I worry about a bit. Is it's like when you go to like a big city and stuff, and you don't have cash, and somebody wants to mug you. It's like, dude, sorry.
Here's my credit cards. I'll cancel them immediately after you leave. That's why I always keep like $6 or $7 on me
just like,
for mugging
just for
cash.
the mugging. It's your mugging.
It's my mugging cash.
It's the toll money.
It's in a really fancy looking clip.
It's true. It's like I worry about these things. It's
honestly, like I'm paranoid about that because my license is from Maine, and I don't want to fucking go back to Maine if I lose my driver's license.
Would you have to?
I would assume so. I mean, it's not like I can just go into Idaho's driver's license bureau and be like, I lost my license. It was in Maine. Can you just give me a new one here in Idaho? It's all right. You can trust me. I was mugged.
So the last time I went in for to get an ID, I don't know how bad, like, because apparently you cannot smile in pictures now. That's a new thing. You're not allowed to smile in your pictures or show teeth. You can smile, but you can't show teeth.
It's a sign of aggression, and the chimpanzees will be confused.
I guess when they take over the ape overlords.
Yeah. They'll be really upset.
The last time I went in there, they took my picture, and the lady behind it's like, that one didn't turn out that great. Do you want another one? I'm like, nah, it's fine. She's like, we really should take another one. I'm like, how ugly was that original picture that the person at the DMV is like, we need another one for this.
Yeah, for the DMV to correct it, that's pretty bad.
I want this picture because I'm like, I don't know what, I have no idea.
You're triple chinning it.
I have no idea. Like, I really want to see what that picture was.
My guess is it was just too flattering.
It was like, this guy's too hot.
You look super handsome in this. We need to retake it. Can you?
So it really resembles you.
My beard is blowing in the wind.
All that glitter you put in your beard was really showing up.
It's just like all of a sudden, like a breeze picks up and blows majestically in the wind or whatever.
All right, guys, we're off topic now. We're leaving. We're climbing out of the basement. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Hello, creeps. It's me, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper. You're listening to Deeply Dapper Dispatches with Kris and Devon. We'll see you next Wednesday.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.
In a city where corruption rules the streets, only one man can stop the serial killer known as the Blood Bandit. James Kurt, a former police officer turned private investigator, must race against the clock to stop the madman before he achieves his ultimate diabolical goal. When JK's brother Alex is thought killed in the line of duty and mysteriously returns with no memory of his past life, the stakes are raised even higher. Enigma, the comic book series from Quad M Productions, written and illustrated by TJ Damon, with colors and effects by Jason Vickers. Enigma. Order your copy at quadmproductions.com today.